Hey guys, it's Plumloup. Thank you for tuning in. On my last video I got somebody who commented asking if I wanted to do a speed build video showing my entire building process. And I really enjoy building in The Sims, even though I do struggle a bit. So I didn't mind doing that for you guys. So here it is. I decided to build on this lot in Willow Creek, sorry. I never really played in this lot before, and I thought maybe I could use this build for my Sims that I'm currently playing with, but I'm not sure yet because I still really enjoy their current home. This home is a little bit bigger. It's a little bit of a larger family home. I'm not sure if you guys would be interested if I put it on the gallery, but if you are, feel free to let me know. Then I wouldn't mind at all to put it online for you guys to download. For this build I decided to use a little bit more of the assets that came with the Seasons pack on the outside, like the wallpaper and the door and stuff. I always have a soft spot for the Seasons assets because when Seasons came out I didn't even have a good computer yet. I couldn't even play Sims 4 really, but I was so excited to watch all the content of it online over on YouTube. And I don't know, it was such a cozy little time in my life, and I always loved the season expansion packs in every Sims franchise. So yeah, it has a dear spot in my heart. But here you can see me struggling with the layout. I think the layout, or doing the layout, is probably the hardest part for me whenever I build. And that's why I sometimes cut out a little bit. I hope it's not too choppy for you guys, but I had to edit it a little bit, otherwise we would be stuck on this part of the making the layout and the build itself for way longer. And that's kind of why I was hesitant to create a speed build video, because I do tend to get really indecisive and be really slow when it comes to building. So that's why I thought maybe a speed build would take too long, but I really tried to edit out the most boring parts, so I hope it's still enjoyable to watch for you guys. So now I'm getting to the point where I start designing the outside of the house a little bit more. I really try to go for a little bit of a different style than I normally go for. I always tend to make those really suburban houses that you probably see a lot in America. But I really wanted to make this one a little bit more cabin style inspired. But the inside is still pretty modern. That's just because for me I enjoy when the interior of my houses are a little bit more clean and a little bit more easy on the eye, instead of really high contrast and stuff like that. But for the outside I really did try to push my boundaries, and I did also change the lot, as you can see right now. Before I put it on the lot to the left of this one, but it was just too big. I tried to make a big build. That's why I chose the big lot, but I was a little bit overconfident and thought I could do it. But I don't know, I have way more fun building houses that are a little bit smaller, even though this house is already pretty big for my standards. I don't know, I find it easier to build smaller houses. But now you can see I'm already almost finished up with the exterior of the house. You can see me picking the roof color and the window color. I struggled so much with which color I wanted windows to be. I cut out a lot of me going between options for like 20 minutes or something. Yeah, and outside I put the mailbox, the trash can, and also put 2 bikes, because I do imagine maybe I will move my own Sims in this house in the future when they are a little bit older. That's why I put these 2 bikes, one for an adult and one for a little kid, because right now I have an adult Sim who's really into biking and going outside, and I have a little boy kid in my family. His name is Declan, and probably when they move here, if they move here, he will probably be a kid, and then he can try go around bicycling on this little blue bike I put outside for him. Now moving on to the inside, I use the lamps that I always use. I don't know, I find these the most realistic for some reason, because I remember seeing those lamps in houses I visited over in the Netherlands, where I'm actually from. So that's why I like putting them there, a little bit of a recognizable point for me. And now I adjusted the windows once again. And here I put in the doorways and stuff like that. I first made them a little bit more darker brown, but eventually changed them to a more grey color to make everything inside a little bit more modern, because in my head the house is probably a little bit old, but the inside has been renovated, if that makes sense. And now I'm going over to the outside, try to make the backyard nice and big, because I always love having space for activities whenever maybe a holiday happens, or when it's summer and I want to put outside a kiddie pool or a sprinkler for my Sims to play in. I don't know, I just like having room to put activities everywhere. That's also why I try to make the living room in my house is a little bit bigger than maybe needed, but that way I do have space to put the Christmas tree, and maybe if they have a baby again, to put a little crib, or like the little playmat. I always have room to add some stuff if I need to. But now I'm moving on to furnishing the house, and here you can see me changing the floorboards to the ones I always use. I tried to use a different one this time, but I couldn't help myself. I had to use these ones again. These are my favorite. But I really like designing interiors. Here you can see me go again with the seasons kind of inspired mud room kind of. When you come in, you can put all your clothes and your boots and stuff in that room before you head in. And I also had to use the little light switches for realism. I don't know, I really loved when The Sims added that to the game. And then I always like to add some detail, but not too much. Otherwise, I feel like the build can get a little bit busy. So I try to add details that make it a little bit more realistic, but I don't want to get it too colored. First of all, because I like the way it looks, but also because it just runs better on my computer. I don't know why. I have a pretty good computer, but I still struggle with lag sometimes, especially on bigger lots. So that's why I do enjoy making my builds a little bit more easy for my computer to run. I don't know if it's easier for my computer because it can run other games so easily. Maybe it's just that The Sims isn't really optimized for it. I have no idea. I don't understand that stuff too much. Here you can see me doing the living room. I don't know, I feel like in Willow Creek it's pretty cold, so I had to make sure I put a fireplace inside. Here you can see me changing up the outside again for like the 5th time, but I swear now I'm done with the outside. But here you can see me furnishing the living room. Wanted to make it really cozy but also really neat and aesthetically pleasing, I would say. And I also try to keep in mind that it kind of suits the style of my Sims, just in case if I want to move my Sims in here in the future. Little trick I always like to do is put the TV on top of the fireplace. I don't know, I like the way that looks. And here you can see me deciding on other stuff like the plants and other little details. Again, trying to make stuff more cozy and a little bit more realistic, but also keeping it simple. But yeah, I had a really good time building this home and creating this speed build. I feel like building homes is getting way more in my comfort zone than it used to be. I had a really bad time building sometimes because I just couldn't figure out how to make everything look nice. But for now, I'm really comfortable with building homes. Whenever they are not too big at least. But now with the new expansion pack, The Sims 4 for Rent coming out pretty soon, I'm so excited about it and all the new possibilities. But oh my god, I have no idea how to build my own apartment buildings and stuff like that. I feel like I need to do so much research before I'm able to build anything like that. It's so exciting. I don't know if I'm gonna build apartment buildings myself or I'll just use stuff from the gallery. I'll just have to try it out and see if I'm able to. But I'm really excited about it. I feel like whenever the kids of my Sims I'm playing with right now go to university, for example, then I'll be able to create an apartment building or like a shared house for them to live in the university world, instead of them having to go in dormitories or just being able to buy a whole house, because I like to play a little bit more realistically. And whenever I start out with Sims that are in my head like 20, 22 years old or something, and they go out on their own and they are able to buy a house already, it's just not realistic to me. I feel like houses are so expensive and such a big commitment, so I feel like it's really realistic for Sims to start out renting something. And I am so excited to have more options of where they'll be able to live and what kind of housing they will be able to rent. And I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be such a fun apartment, or not apartment, such a fun pack. And oh my god, the world is so cool too. I really love that The Sims is more diverse now with creating worlds. I remember in The Sims 3, all the worlds used to be really American inspired, and the only worlds that were a little bit more inspired by other countries, they were the vacation worlds, so you can really live in there. And I feel like The Sims 4 is finally now focusing on more other countries than American, like Montgomery and stuff. And now also the new world, I forgot the name, but the one that's inspired by Asia and Thailand, I think. So yeah, I'm really excited about that world, and I will for sure check it out. And I'm really excited to start building with that pack as well. But I'm almost finished with the bathroom and the living room, and now moving on to the bedroom of the parents, I would say. And I, again, inspired a little bit by my Sims I'm currently playing with, but if you decide to want to play in this house for yourself as well, you are more than free to change stuff up to suit your Sims more. I totally get that. And yeah, again, I try to find the balance in making it look nice, but also not too busy and a little bit more realistic. In my head, for some reason, it's more realistic when a lot of beige and brown colors are included. Maybe it's a little bit boring, but in my house at least, all the walls are beige almost, and a lot of furniture in our house is just brown or gray, and maybe most of the color was always in my bedroom whenever I was a kid. So that's what I try to represent in this house as well. Like, a lot of stuff was really muted, but then when you get to the kid bedroom and stuff like that, it's a little bit more colorful. Also use the new counters from the Home Chef Hustle stuff pack. I just love the way they look, and I kind of overuse them now. But it's fine. I mean, I paid my hard-earned money on it, so I feel like I'm able to use it whenever I want. And now I'm placing the dining table. It's a little bit hard to figure out how to want to place it, because the room was a little bit too small for all the chairs I wanted to use. I really wanted to put like 6 chairs around the table, so that when it's Harvest Fest and Winter Fest and stuff like that, my Sims can have people over and have a grand dinner with them. But it was a little bit like too tight of a space, so I deleted 2 of those chairs. But I do imagine if it's the holidays, you can maybe temporarily put those chairs back to have a little bit more room, I would say. And then I'm just adding a trash can before I forget, because I very often forget about them. And a little dog bowl as well, just in case your Sims have a dog, because my Sims do have a dog. That's probably why I did that. I kind of, how you say, I wasn't really furnishing it for my Sims, but kind of I was furnishing it for my Sims. So I'm sorry, feel free to change it if you'd like. And now I'm almost done with the downstairs, and I'm moving on up to the upstairs. And in the upstairs, I have 2 bedrooms, and one of them I left empty, because for my Sims they only have 1 kid so far. And I also felt like it was maybe nice to leave one room empty for anyone to furnish any way they'd like. But here I'm making the bathroom. It's a really big bathroom, which I'm pretty excited about, because I always tend to make my bathrooms a little bit smaller, but I try to create more variety in my room. So that's why I try to create more shapes and different sizes for my rooms. And here I also had a place to put the laundry and stuff like that. I love playing with laundry. I don't know if it makes me boring, but I love the laundry stuff back, and I love the vacuum little kid. I don't know, it's just fun to me. Whenever my Sims house gets a little bit dusty, I'm just like, yeah, I can vacuum. I'm just excited about it, so it was worth it for me. Maybe a little bit overpriced for only vacuums, but still I bought it and I don't regret it. But here you can see I'm furnishing the house for a little boy. I'm very excited to use a few new assets from the Growing Together stuff pack. No, not stuff pack, expansion pack. I didn't even use it before because ever since Growing Together came out, I never really got that far with my Sims that the kids of my Sims aged up into children. I always abandon my Sims whenever they have toddlers and infants. So hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, I'm gonna get to the children's stage with the Sims I'm currently playing with, so I can finally try to learn how to ride a bike and have the little tooth fairy stuff and have them playing the treehouse and all of those things, because I haven't really explored that yet, even though the Growing Together expansion pack has been out for so long already. But I really hope I can get to that stage with the Sims I'm currently playing with. And I also put a little Void Critter playing set in the room. I love the Void Critters. It's probably because I loved Pokemon when I was little, and it kind of reminds me of Pokemon a little bit. So I don't know, I really like having kids collect the cars and train the little Void Critters, and I don't know, it makes my little inner child happy. But yeah, I'm almost finished with this room, I think. Just adding a little closet for realism, because I always forget about closets for children. But they do need them. They have clothes, so they kind of need them. So I added one small little closet in this room. And also added a little activity table in the hallway, because I always love having my Sims create little seasonal crafts to hang up around the house whenever it gets like in autumn and winter. It's so cozy to me, and I love whenever I do that. And now I'm getting to the garden. I really wanted to make it a nice balance of like enough space for your Sims to walk around, enough space to put other activities temporarily, but I also wanted to make it fun and already have some fun stuff to do. But I just noticed that I'm getting really close to the end of the video. I'm so proud of myself for making it throughout the whole video and finding stuff to talk about. It's so hard for me to do voiceovers. But I really hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much if you got to this part and watched almost the whole video already. That's really nice of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the build. I really hope you had a good time watching the video. I at least had a really good time, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.